Hey, what's up? Hello. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sammy, and I am your new favorite paranormal YouTuber. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today's video is gonna be a little different. Usually I'm just telling you some kind of stories or reading subscriber stories or something like that, but tonight actually, it's like literally 2 o'clock in the morning. Tonight, we're gonna be talking about the most haunted city in America, a place that I'm quite familiar with because I actually used to live there when I was a teenager. And recently, we went back. And although I didn't get to investigate or anything, I do want to talk about some of the places that I did briefly get to visit a little bit around there for the short time that we were there. We were only there for like 24 hours. But we did get some B-roll and stuff of the places, so I have my own footage to use to show you guys these places as I'm telling you about them. And I do plan to try and go and investigate some of the places there. I mean, there's literally not 1 inch of historic Savannah that you can step foot in that's not haunted. It just has too much history. It is literally the most haunted city in America. So we're going to talk about the couple of places that actually me and Bobby and Major went to. Okay, I have a list of the places we visited, and the first place actually called the Old Harbor Inn. So the Old Harbor Inn was originally built in 1812, so you can imagine how many freaking spirits are there, or ghosts or demons. The thing is, I want to say that when people know a location is already haunted or already has a lot of spiritual activity, and it's been known for a while, you can go ahead and pretty much guarantee that there's been people that have used that location to summon things or done some really creepy things there, because I mean, it's a paranormal hotspot. Places that are paranormal hotspots are usually used for rituals and summoning and things like that. So I always just go ahead and assume that amongst the regular spirits there's probably some actual entities too, which makes it way more creepy to me. So basically, the Old Harbor Inn was built in 1812, and it was used for just a storage facility at first, and then later it was turned into a warehouse. Well, not many years later, after it was turned into a warehouse and had lots of employees, and it was a functioning business which had lots of oil, it caught on fire. And obviously, with buildings completely structured of wood, like completely structured of wood in those times, and it being full of barrels of oil, there was no saving it. It burned to the ground. And actually, lots of things caught on fire in those times. Like Savannah caught on fire quite a lot. Coincidence? Who knows? But because of this, they started requiring the buildings to be made of brick. So anyway, it was a warehouse and it was a blue jean factory. Then it was turned into a hotel, an inn. So let's talk about the ghosts of the Old Harbor Inn, mainly the most famous ghost. His name is Hank, from what people have gathered, although there's no actual records on him. Somehow they found out that he was the one and only casualty, the only death in that fire, and they also suspected that he was actually the one who started the fire. And he actually didn't start to appear until the building had been rebuilt, which we all know that usually, even if a property is haunted or a house is haunted, they usually are kind of dormant until you start doing construction, and it seems to really piss them off or get them going. Hank is actually well known with the staff. I mean, they're used to him. While you would think because he did something so horrible with the intention of hurting other people, and even though he got his karma and he's the only one that got hurt, he still likes to, he actually is not like an evil spirit. He likes to play pranks on people, although he can get inappropriate with women. Hank was not necessarily his real name. That's what he has been named. But anyway, even though it's a non-smoking facility, you can smell cigar smoke, and it is Hank. He is the one that you are smelling if you smell smoke. Hank is known to be in women's rooms and get in their beds and show himself to women. He is inappropriate with women. But he mainly haunts room 405 and 406. Really, no other room at the hotel or at the inn is haunted. He likes to stick between those two rooms for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I'm going to read you a little story of someone's encounter with Hank. One staff member ended up spending the night in room 405 after a late night shift and heard strange banging noises against the wall and the sound of someone jiggling her doorknob. The alarm clock in the room next door went off in the middle of the night, and she knew that room hadn't been booked in weeks. Hank was clearly trying to get to her, but as an experienced staff member, she brushed it off and slept through the night. She had long grown accustomed to Hank's haunts because he's a very active spirit. I mean, he's very known, he's very active. He likes to let his self be known. He apparently also likes to go to the kitchen and mess with the appliances. So yeah, he just likes to aggravate the piss out of people, really. Okay, so that's Old Harbor Inn. Maybe one day I'll go stay there and see if we can chat with Hank or see what he does. My best friend, actually, Brittany44, Brittany Crab on YouTube, she actually went to the Old Harbor Inn. She actually went to all of these places in Savannah. So if you would like to check out her channel, I'll link it in the description. She has been to pretty much every haunted hotel you can think of in Savannah. So if you want to go watch all those on hers, I'll link it in the description. They're really interesting videos. So the next building we actually got to walk over to, we didn't get to really do much. I just got some B-roll, of course. We didn't go inside these places. We just went and walked around them and, like I said, got some B-roll. The Marshall House was actually, the street in front of the Marshall House was actually under construction. So, I mean, the people that were staying there, they were literally having, the poor valet workers were literally having to bring people's stuff from like blocks away and bring it over to the Marshall House. Oh my God, like I would have never booked at that time because it was just too crazy having the whole street shut down. But this light keeps freaking me out. But I am gonna tell you the history of the Marshall House and the hauntings because Marshall House is a little intense. I would love to stay there actually. And again, Brittany went to that one too, so if you want to go watch her videos on that, I think she went there twice. Yeah. So the Marshall House was built in 1851. It was developed by a woman named Mary Marshall. She already came from a wealthy family, so this kind of thing was easy for her. It was at that time a hotel. For a little while it was actually taken over by someone else named the Gilbert Hotel, but then obviously eventually it became the Marshall House again. It is one of the oldest buildings in the city, so you can only imagine like what kind of energy is in that place. So let's talk about the hauntings. So some of the time the hotel was actually used as a medical facility, not just for the Union soldiers, but for patients who had yellow fever. So a lot of the stories of what people experience are footsteps down the hallway, laughter, really bad smells like rotten meat smells. So while of course nobody knows who most of these ghosts are or entities or whatever they are, there is one that they suspect is there, and that is in fact Mary Marshall. There is actually a portrait of her in the lobby from 1830. A little girl actually walked by the painting and pointed at it and said that she saw her standing in the hallway. Other things they've experienced is typewriter noises, but the main thing that concerns me is the smell. People reporting the smell, and they're describing it as burning flesh. And they say that if they would play like gospel music, that the smell would stop. Do you know what that means? That means you're dealing with a demon, because that smell is an immediate sign that you're dealing with a demon. And if you play gospel music and it goes away, come on now. That's just not a regular spirit. It's just not. So this is why I say I believe there's more than just the ghost of the yellow fever and just the history in general. I think it's more than just human spirits. I really think that smell concerns me, and the shadowy figures concern me, and I would like to still go and check it out for myself. Next, this place we actually did go in. We went in and ate here. So first we were gonna go to Moon River Brewing Company, which is haunted, but I can make that in another video if you want to hear about it. But instead we went right next door and went to Churchills Pub, which is actually a really nice restaurant and pub. But while we were in there, I'm like, you know, everything in Savannah is literally haunted. This place has to be haunted. So while we're sitting there waiting on our food, which was delicious, by the way, that is the best food, the nicest place I've probably ever had breakfast at. And I'm not a breakfast person, so if I say that's the best breakfast spot I've ever been to, it is, okay? Even though it's very haunted, you should totally eat there if you're in that area. But let's talk about the haunting. So while I have not been able to find any history specifically on Churchill's. It just talks about how great of a pub it is and a restaurant, which it is, but I did find information about the haunting very easily. It's very known. So basically, apparently, at some point in history, a man was hung from the rafters in there, and people have actually seen a shadow of a man hanging from the rafters while eating. Also, one night in February 2013, on the cameras, they saw the beer taps turn on by themselves, just spilling beer everywhere. I mean, it emptied a lot of beer right down the drains. So if you've ever been in Churchills, if you live in Savannah or that area, or you've ever visited Savannah and you know anything about the history of the restaurant, feel free to comment it below. I just thought that was really creepy because we were eating in there, and just knowing that people have seen the shadow figure hanging from the rafters and that the beer taps turn themselves on, that's pretty freaking creepy and pretty awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Savannah is a very haunted, very interesting place, and if you would like for me to do more videos talking about other places in Savannah that are super haunted, I mean, you've got the 1790 Inn, you've got the East Bay Inn, you've got the Foley House, you have Bonaventure Cemetery, it's just unlimited. So if you would like me to do another video on some more haunted history there and talk about people's experiences, Moon River Brewing Company too, I didn't include that in this video. I was going to, but this video is a little long. I personally found in this video Churchill's to be the most interesting. I mean, that's a pretty scary thing to see. Imagine you're just sitting having a nice breakfast or lunch or dinner, or imagine you work there and the freaking beer taps are turning themselves on and you have to work there late at night. Imagine closing knowing that. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. So anyways, let me know in the comments if you would like to see any more videos of Savannah or any other haunted places. Give me any haunted place you would like me to talk about, get some information on, and make a video about. If there are places local to me, I could maybe go check them out. I have some ideas already, but I'm open to your ideas too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this scared you. We can be scared together. I will see you in the next video. Bye.